You got the offer, you've got the drive, but your business still isn't growing.
Let us guess. You're doing all the things, but you're not seeing results.
Now, it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to fix it.
Welcome to Message Millionaire, where we break down the trifecta of business growth: audience, authority, and sales. Let's talk about why you're stuck and how to break through.
Let's go for it.
Real problem is most business owners think their problem is strategy. It's not. It's visibility, credibility, and conversion. You don't need a new offer. You just need to discover how to actually get seen, get trusted, and get paid.
Oh, yeah. Lucky for you, we're going to break it down like a fraction. There are 3 problems.
You were good at fractions? I was not. This was
I
like
was terrible
it was
at
subject
fractions,
that
I
I
did.
really did not do.
I was actually terrible at fractions, but when it comes to this fraction,
I mean, money fraction, but no, I don't want to divide. But anyway,
yeah, anyway. So, as I said, there are 3 major problems that you have. If you're having a problem with your audience, it's because you're not reaching the right people. If you're having a problem with like authority and getting people to trust you, it's because you're not showing up like the expert you are. And if you're having a problem with sales, you're not converting attention into revenue yet. All right, so let's talk about 1, audience. Most people try and talk to everyone, so they end up attracting no one.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing: you've got to niche down. Now, that's a scary thing for so many people, but it doesn't mean shrink. It means sharpen. You want to create content that makes your dream client say, "Oh, wow, that's exactly what I need right now."
So we love to practice what we preach. And when it comes to business, we love to practice what we preach.
Sometimes.
And we're constantly testing out new messages and constantly trying to get super clear on who our audience is, our perfect problem prospect.
And what's cool about this is, like, we'll talk about who that person is. It's the only way you figure this out, right? Is you've got to try it. People all like, we all want certainty. It feels good. Like if it's uncomfortable and you don't know where you're driving to, even, right? We don't like uncertainty. But the only way to get certain about your target market is to start working with people. And so you and I have had this journey of like, who's our right fit person? And it has tweaked, it's meandered. But what's interesting about it is it doesn't mean, oh, I'm hitting the mic. Sorry about that. It doesn't mean that it is a different person as we wax and wane who we're working with. It can mean the same person on a different stage of their journey. Because as we've grown as business partners, the person that we're working with has grown too.
Right.
So why don't you talk about who our person is?
Yeah, our person, we like to break it down and like name them, like Alex or Allie. In this case, let's talk about Alex. Our Alex is actually a successful business owner, someone who is a doer, not a dreamer, who has a business, who has revenue, right? Maybe some employees, but they've gotten to this place in the business where they feel like, oh, if I could just get in front of more of the right people, because I
Yeah.
feel like I'm the best kept secret.
And so we've heard this over and over again from our person that they've said, how do you get all your business? They
Yeah.
always say word of mouth and referral, word of mouth and referral. That's how they get all their clients. And so that's our person. It's someone who already owns a business, who gets all of their business via word of mouth and referral, and they want to scale. And that makes it really clear. And we know the difference between them and people that we don't like working with, because really you get to pick who you want to work with, is that the people we work with already own a business. And that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, they say build the business you want, right? If you're
Yeah.
going to take the time to do it, build the business and work with the people you want to work with. And we love working with people who finally have that light
Right.
bulb moment where they say, oh my goodness, I've relied on word of mouth and referral.
Yeah.
And yet that means my whole business is reliant on people who have no financial stake in my business.
Yeah. And there are other people who do what we do as far as lead generation, speaking on stages, growing a brand, who will work with people who are starting a business, want to start a business. And that's great. They can do that, but that's not us.
Nope.
We are super clear of who we work with. Now, it doesn't have to be in the business niche. It could be in a different industry. We have another coaching client. She's in the fitness space, and she decided she wants to work with moms who just had a child or their kids are 2 and under. That woman has specific needs that are going to be different than, let's say, an empty nester. You can talk to her differently. Or we have a tax accountant and she loves working with businesses versus personal returns.
Right.
But as we dialed in, she actually really likes working with women in the direct sales space. Now we've really honed in her message so she could be very, very clear when she talks to her. She knows what events she should go speak at. She knows what podcast she should be on. And she knows what offer to put together because it's based on that market. Even in the IT space, Howard Globus, his target market that he likes working with the best is financial advisors.
Yeah.
He could do IT or cybersecurity for anybody.
Right.
But when he narrowed in on that person, he started to become well known as the go to expert of that space. He got picked to speak at conferences, asked to be on podcasts, and he got more clients because of it.
Yeah, there's this weird dynamic where you're afraid to niche down. A lot of people that
Mhm.
we speak to are like, I just want to serve everyone. And it's cool when you have like a servant's heart and you just want to serve as many
But let's
people.
be real. They don't actually want to serve everyone.
Yes, I
Just
agree.
like most parents would admit they have a favorite child. And I mean, and it could change on the daily. We also have a favorite client,
Yeah.
let's be real, and you get to choose as a business owner what you want to who you want to work with and what you want to do, and you should give yourself permission to do that.
Yeah, imagine being able to clone your most favorite client
Yeah.
and just make like 100 of them or 50 or whatever it is that you're comfortable with. I mean, wouldn't you want to get out of bed and just be like, yes, I get to serve this client who does what I said and like gets the result and
Mhm.
just continue to like clone them over and over and over again. That's the power of niching down and finding your exact right fit person.
So here's the tip. When you've uncovered or thought about, or you're just getting curious on what your niche might be, you can literally use this post to start attracting that person to your market. You can say, if you're struggling with, insert the pain point that your target market deals with, here's what you need to know. And you'll literally list out a tip or a strategy, and then you'll have a call to action. For more information, reach out to me to have a conversation, or simply look and see who comments and likes your post. Then you know exactly who you could reach out to have a talk and potentially turn them into a client.
Yeah, when you put your message out there, people are going to respond. So make sure you watch who comments because you're going to see how they feel about it and you're going to be able to discover those
Except
right
for you, who
people.
has super fans who just comment on everything. That's fine.
It's fine. Look, I'm fortunate to have fans and look, and I get to do what I get to do. It's fine. We love. So that being said, here is
If you're not Justin Guarini, yes, that way works.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm gonna have some kind of sound effect that's like the applause.
Doink.
All right. Well, here's the truth: the loudest person, the loudest person, isn't the one who's the most trusted. Authority isn't about that.
No, authority is not about followers. It's about positioning. I'm gonna say that again. Authority is not about followers. It's about positioning. Because really, at the end of the day, followers is just a vanity metric.
Yeah.
It's about how you show up in front of them, how you position yourself in front of them, the clarity that you come with in your message, and how people perceive your expertise. Now, here's a simple thing that you can do. You can go live or you can post a video with your origin story. Now, why is your origin story so important? Your origin story is that thing where, just like in the Marvel universe, right? Someone is a normal human being walking around. Let's take Peter Parker, for example, right? Guy taking some photos. Boom, this event happens. Gets bit by the spider. He all of a sudden sees the world in a different way, has different powers, has a whole different set of skills that come from this life-changing experience. Well, the same thing happens with a lot of people's businesses, right? I can't tell you how many people who were in the performance space, who were like dancers, who got injured, found someone in the physical therapy space who fixed them, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, I want to do this for people." Right? It completely changed their lives. And so what you can do is you can go on live or you can post and you can give your origin story, the why behind your work, because it does two things. It builds a connection with your audience because everybody has that momentous moment in their life or in their business, right? And when they see you going through the same thing, they see themselves in your journey. And when they begin to see themselves in your journey, that helps to begin to build trust and fast.
Yeah. So here's the thing: your story, though, Your story should only be the thing that you tell if it makes sense to your market. So here's how we're different than like, oh, speaker coaches like, just go and tell your story. No, don't tell your story if it has nothing to do with your market and what they care about, because that's not going to make you any sales.
Yeah.
That's not going to generate ROI. Go into some poetry contest or storytelling contest somewhere that has nothing to do with your business. That's not what we talk about here. We're about growing your business. Your story has to have the same pathway that your prospect wants to go on. Okay. For example, one of our coaching clients, Brian, he runs a community of home service contractors, plumbers, roofers. He never did that for an industry, right? He never had that as a job. He was always been a marketer to that space. So the story he tells is not about him. It's about one of his clients, right? That makes the most sense in that situation so that his audience can see themselves in the story. So just make sure the origin story you tell matches the one that your audience wants to live.
Yes. Amen. Okay. So we talked about your audience, talked about your authority, audience, finding that right person, and then authority, getting in front of that right person and telling the right story so that they get to know, like, and trust you. Now, that final one, the pesky problem of sales. Oof. Listen, it, you're not selling too much. You're just not selling.
Yeah, most people drop offers like an afterthought, right? But sales is service. Your audience wants a solution if they believe you can give it. So here's what you're going to do. Start using this call to action in your content. If this resonates with you and you want support, DM me the word ready, right? Now you're telling people exactly what to do and to contact you. And what I love about this, why this isn't scary for you to try, all my perfectionists out there, because you say DM, nobody's going to know if anybody DM'd you or not. This is something just between you and market research. This way, it's a way for you to test the market without anyone else having to know.
So, audience, authority, sales. If you're having a challenge here, just understand that your business is not broken. It's just missing a solid foundation.
Start with audience, authority, and sales. And this channel will show you how to master all three.
Oh, yes, it will. Be sure to hit that subscribe button because next episode, we're breaking down exactly how to build your authority fast, even if nobody knows who you are yet.
If you're ready to increase your audience, build your authority, and generate more sales, comment with the word ready right now.